If you missed day one, long story short, I am making a series where I show you my process of producing music for clients right here in my home studio. Basically, in each video, I'm going to walk you through what I like to accomplish in that specific day of production. Make sure that you check out day one if you haven't seen it already. Link is right here. All right, so today what I want to do is establish the foundation of the song. On day one, we did the scratch tracks for the song. We've got it arranged, tempo, all of that stuff worked out. So in day two, I'm going to actually suss out what is going to be the foundation for the song. So the first thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to throw some programmed drums into the session on top of the scratch tracks. Now, the way that I personally do this might be the least efficient way to go about doing it, but as a drummer, I feel the need. I have to play it, on my MIDI controller, but I have to actually play out the beat. So I'm going to add a couple tracks into the session. I'm going to do a MIDI track and an auxiliary track. On the aux track, I'm going to add whatever drum software feels appropriate for the song. Today, I'm going to be using a drum library from a company called That Sound, and I use it through a sampler called Battery. So the workflow here is I'm going to go section by section of the song, and I'm going to figure out what the kick and the snare pattern is going to be, and then I'm going to tinker with it until that feels just about perfect. After I'm good with the pattern that I put down, I'll quantize it, and then I will fly it to each appropriate section of the song that I want the pattern in, and then I will commit that MIDI to audio. So I am essentially committing, saying this is the part that's going to be there. After I commit the MIDI to audio, then I just repeat the same process for the hi-hat pattern and any cymbal hits and or fills that I would like to have in the song. Now, I try not to get too carried away with this process. The purpose of doing this is to really just inform whoever is going to be drumming on the direction and the style that we are looking for the song. Once all the drums are programmed in, then this works as a great placeholder to experiment with additional instruments and different sounds and parts that you might want eventually for the song. All right, the second thing that I'm going to do today is I am going to lay down some scratch bass on the song. I can play bass and I have a bass. I typically like to hire a bassist because I just know that they're better than me. Before I actually call the bassist or schedule anything, I really like to lay down a scratch bass track where I can experiment and sort of understand what I want from the bass for the outcome of the song. Whether the bass is played on a bass guitar or it's just programmed in, it's worth it to me to add it in to really get an idea of where the song is going. Alright, now that I have this scratch bass down with the programmed drums, I've got a pretty good understanding of how I want the actual drums to be played on the song. Which brings me to step 3, one of my favorite steps, recording live drums. Now is where I do the setup for tracking live drums, and before you do this, you want to have a good idea of how you want the drums to sound before you even pick your mics or place them. The drum sound should sort of be designed right from the beginning. For instance, in this song, I know I want to have condensers as overheads. I want to use my ribbon mic as the room mic. I want it to have this particular room mic technique that you can see in this video where I put the baffle in front of it and put it down on the floor. Sounds super cool. I think it's going to have a really nice complementary sound for this style of a song. So I'm going to get that set up and then I'll sit down at the drums, and this is really where the song comes alive because this is the first final completed section or part of this song. So the rest of the tracks were scratch tracks. Now I'm laying down final tracks. So you want to do this right. Now, because I work in a home studio, my setup includes my drum kit right in the same room as my computer. And this has some pros and cons, but one of the convenient things is that I can do takes right from the drum kit. I just move my keyboard and mouse right back to the drum kit and on a little side table. So when I'm wearing multiple hats, as in I'm drumming, engineering, and producing on the song, it is kind of convenient to be able to track right from the kit. So when I'm playing, I can stop in the middle of a take. If I know a part wasn't right, I can start the take over, I can punch in, all without standing up from the drum kit. So that is kind of a convenient. There's some cons to it too, of course. So in laying down the drums for this song, I wound up punching in 2 times. I punched in at the last double chorus of the song and at the outro of the song. This is one of those songs that has a very laid back feel and is also very, very straight. So it is very repetitive and it's very almost seductive in the performance, where it's just driving that same pattern home. Now that I've got all the drums laid down, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna clean up the couple punches that I have and make sure all of the transitions are as smooth as possible. Then I'm gonna do some beat detective work to really lock in the performance. And the way that I use beat detective is I just work 8 bars at a time. That way I can listen through and make sure that all of the edits are as clean as possible. To me, it's worth it to put in a little bit extra time to make sure that this drum performance is as good as it can possibly be. So that about does it for day 2. I really just like to get the foundation of the song covered and structured and actually edited and in the session. We've got some drums, we've got some scratch bass, we've figured out the performance. Now that I've got the foundation of the song laid down, the bass is still a scratch track, but I do like to get the drums locked in first and edited and try to imagine a couple other parts that might wind up being in the song as far as other instruments and see that through before I actually bring in the session bassist. Now that we've got the foundation laid down, we have a much better understanding of the feel of the song and can really start to see the direction that we could take the song as far as other instruments that might be used on certain sections, or just sort of have a clearer vision of what the song is going to be. Anyway, I'm really excited about this song. I've been waiting to put this song together for quite a few years, and we finally have some time to do it. So yeah, hopefully you're getting something from my process. You know, everybody's got a different process. This is really, I'd like to take it step by step, one foot in front of the next, and just really focus on each individual part. So today was the foundation. Tomorrow's going to be something different. I look forward to you seeing that. Please, if you like the video, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching these videos and subscribing. Also, if you guys have any interest, you can head over to ANDREWMASTERSmusic.com and you can actually book me to record drums on your song remotely. So just head on over there. It's super simple. Just hit the book now button. Pick the date that you want to do it, and then we'll get you scheduled and get some drums on the song. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.